Yo, what's up, guys? Your boy Tyrell here. Hi, 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 hi. What's up, everybody? So, as I'm recording this, and hopefully when I upload it, it'll be around the weekend in which the new Spider-Man movie, Brand New Day, will be releasing. And obviously, a couple of the friends, the peeps, are gonna go watch it, which is all well and good. Now, my sister asked me to watch my nephew tomorrow, so I'm not gonna go see it. Although I do think I could technically go see it tonight if I wanted to. But I wanted to talk about something because it had me thinking about, is it really worth going to the theater anymore for a variety of reasons. Now, I'm not out here saying that the theater doesn't have its value in other ways, and that like the things I'm bringing up aren't necessarily meant to discredit the theater in its entirety, but it's more to give you my thoughts and perspective, just to kind of see how, if anyone else feels in a similar way to me about this. Okay, so when it came to the theater, I grew up relatively poor, so I don't even think I started going to the movie theater like as a thing until I was like in my teens. Like when I finally had my own job and I made my own money, and then I went to go watch movies. And even then, I'm not like an avid movie watcher. Hell, I want to be real with you. When I hit my teenage years, I kind of checked out of a lot of live action stuff. Like, not saying I didn't watch anything, but I was watching more. Well, actually, I should be saying less and less of traditional American media. I was watching more Japanese animation or just straight up cartoons. So I was pretty distant from like what was going on in the traditional movie scene that everyone else cared about. Like when Breaking Bad or The Wire was out, I wasn't watching any of those things. The only thing that kept me kind of tethered to that lifestyle is that when I worked in the library, my boss is a avid, and I mean an avid movie enjoyer and TV show watcher. So she was the reason why I watched The Wire. She was the reason why I watched Breaking Bad. She was the reason why I watched like the Sopranos, not the Sopranos. What's the other one? The mafia movies. I can't think of the other one. The Godfather. The Godfather, Goodfellas. Like, she's the reason why I was watching so many films. Not saying I wasn't watching other things on top of that, but like, she was a good push for me keeping up with like what was going on in the movie scene. And even then, I still wasn't on her level. She was all in. Her and her husband, all in. Straight dedication. Shout outs to Jennie. You know who it is. It's funny because she actually has a channel where she tries food with her husband. I might link it in the description just for the people to go and give her some love and support. But that's if I remember. If I didn't, please remind me. But she was like a big reason why I watched a lot of movies and television shows around that era, like in my teens, early adulthood type stuff. But I also had to remind myself that the movie experience meant a lot more back then than it does now, in general, and specifically to me as well. And it's mainly because so many things have changed since then, right? Like when a movie came out back then, you really wanted to watch it for a multitude of reasons. One, bootlegs were harder to come by. Not saying you couldn't still get them, but they were harder to come by, shittier quality. And if you wanted like a proper VHS or DVD release, you had to wait a while. Like I feel like it was like a good year at least before some of these movies would translate from theater to like home video. And it was a huge deal depending on which company was doing it, like Disney. And they had that stupid Disney Vault bullshit where like certain movies and certain movies weren't available, but for like a limited time. So if you didn't buy it then, you would never see it again. Like it was a bigger deal because if you like, for example, Rush Hour 2, I'll use that as an example. If Rush Hour 2 came out in theaters and you loved the film, the only way you were watching that film again is like legally is like when the home video version of it came out later. Remember, we had no internet during the early days when I was a kid. I didn't get internet until I was in my early teens. So like the wait was a genuine wait. There was no way to really circumvent it without watching shitty bootlegs or going and watching the movie again. Now, granted, theaters were also cheaper, right? Theaters were like $10 to go watch a movie, and popcorn wasn't as offensive as it is now. Whereas it's now, you're going to spend somewhere between a smooth $30 to $50, depending on what kind of experience you want. It also, there was a bigger disparity between the home experience and the theater experience, right? Back in the day, we had those shitty CRTs that, although were cool for the gaming perspective. In terms of like watching a show or a movie specifically, wasn't great. It was these fucking small ass boxes with these huge back sides. The gaps on them things were crazy. God, that doesn't sound right. And the theater was still like this giant fucking projector screen. It had these cool seats that recline because that was like a luxury back then. Like it was, I almost felt like an event on top of the social aspect of going out with family and friends and possible dates or whatever, right? It was a different experience, and the disparity between the home and the theater experience was insane. So not only are you watching a movie when it first comes out, and probably for a year before it comes out on video, home video, but you're also getting this crazy unique experience you can't get anywhere. So like the theater experience held a lot more value to me, and I think a lot of people back then when there was such a disparity between the two. The problem is, as I've gotten older and how I don't watch American media nearly as much, but even if when I do, there are a multitude of different factors that have led me to the decision that I'm going to explain, which is that I'm more than likely going to just stop going to the theater entirely. And it's a variety of reasons. Like I said, this is not the theaters ain't shit and everyone should stop going to the theater. This is just my reasoning for why I feel like it's not really worth it for me anymore. Because one, I only really go for a handful of things anyway, but let me get into the changes. One, the gap between a movie release in the theaters and a release in physical media and or streaming platforms isn't anything crazy anymore. In most cases, a movie will come out in January and be available for streaming by like June. And that's considered like late. Like for example, Spider-Man comes out today, right? Or tomorrow. More than likely, it'll be available before like December or around December. I'm thinking like November, December. It'll be available. And that'll be that. Hell, they already got pre-orders open for the Blu-ray. Huh? The movie isn't even technically out yet legally. And you already got fucking Blu-rays for everything? You already got Blu-ray pre-orders? My God. Because we already know how quick this shit is going to turn over. The turnover rate for movies is a lot quicker now. Also, the disparity between the theater and the home experience has gotten a lot smaller because technology's improved. We have better televisions. You can actually go and buy decent projectors. You're still going to spend some money. And if you're willing to invest, you can make your place, you can make a room in your house, a home theater room. I think Terminator Juice from the Juice is Loose is like the biggest representative I have that I know in like my personal life, which I'll link his stuff in the channel below just so you guys have a perspective of what I mean. But like, you can make a theater sit up in your house and still have a theater-like experience without even leaving your home. And then on top of that, we're not going to include things like the internet, that even if you weren't going the right way or the legal way in terms of getting this media, bootlegs and rips and streams are available pretty quick. Actually, I think I was scrolling through Twitter too long before I recorded this video. I think the Spider-Man movie is literally on the Twitter shit. I think you can literally just watch the movie on that bitch, which is insane in retrospect, but that's how quick the rips get. As soon as them bitches come out, people have gotten better at ripping and recording. So the experience you're getting now off a bootleg is a lot better than what it used to be, on top of the fact that the legal route of stuff coming out is quicker than usual. You can make your own theater in your house if you feel so inclined, and theaters in general have gotten more expensive. And the most important thing, that's the big reason why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, is that I already paid for a streaming service. So for example, Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man currently is a Disney product, which means it's on Disney Plus. Like every other Spider-Man film is currently on Disney Plus, which more than likely would make you think that this film will eventually end up on Disney Plus. So imagine me spending $20 to $30 on Disney Plus, whether it's the standard or the premium one, and then going to give Disney more money at the theater for something that will eventually end up on that catalog anyway. So in my mind, I'm like, well, if I just wait the 3 or 4 months, even if I want to go that route, then I would at least not be giving them money twice. Because why am I giving you money twice for something? Now, granted, the reason why people don't want to do this, and the main reason why watching movies in the theater is such a big deal is mainly because of spoiler culture and impatience, which is degraded over time. Back in the day, you had to wait for everything, so patience was higher. Nowadays, everything, and I mean everything, is instant gratification. You can order food instantly. You can pick a show and watch it instantly. You can even pirate instantly. Everything is quick as shit, so no one has any patience to wait for anything. And in my mind, that is not intrinsically a good thing, even though that's a whole side conversation I'm not going to get into. But in my opinion, I feel like having a little bit of inconvenience is important for the development of modern society. But that's besides the point. The point is, for me, it doesn't really make any sense to sit there and give Disney money twice for a film I will eventually get on the platform of my choice anyway, in less than, I won't even have to wait that long. Secondly, I have TVs now that, although aren't like the giant projector that you can get in a theater, I can still get insanely good quality video and audio in the comfort of my own home. So in my opinion, I'm not really, and I don't have to spend all this extra money on these crazy ass meals you can buy and then the ticket prices, which will make a simple 2-person date to the movies turn into like a $50 excursion. And you're sitting there questioning, why the fuck did we spend so much just to watch something that's going to come out in 3 months on Disney Plus anyway? The other thing for me, though, specifically, is that I watch a lot of anime, right? I don't really watch live action stuff anymore, or not a lot of it, right? So as a result, the question then becomes, I already don't go there often as it is. Why do I need to go at all, right? The last handful of films I've watched was the Mario Galaxy movie, I mean, the Sonic movies. I think when Gold and Stampede and Broly came out, I watched those in theaters. But most things everything else I don't really care to watch in theaters. So and on top of that, I'm going by myself. It's not like I'm going with my friends or a girlfriend or something like that. So objectively, I don't even get the social aspect of the experience anymore. And I'm gonna be real with you, I have an OLED TV in my fucking living room. It ain't that deep. In my opinion, for me specifically, it doesn't really make sense for me to invest the time or the effort into spending money to go watch a movie in the theaters, other than the fact that it's probably, you will get to watch it first and avoid spoilers, which is true. Because let's be real here, TikTok and fucking YouTube and any other social media platform are going to spoil the hell out of you. And here's the thing is, a lot of people, and when it comes to media, don't even watch half of the media they're ingesting in the first place. I know this because I was a part of the generation that discovered things like torrenting and LimeWire and Napster and BearShare. If you know any of those, you know what I'm talking about. Where we were introduced to the Wild West of digital media. You could download songs, movies, games, any piece of media, you could get your hands on it in seconds, or at least within like a very quick, timely fashion with no financial costs. And I'm gonna be real with you, because a lot of you probably did it. You download all that shit. You download all your favorite movies, cartoons, shows, songs, albums, whatever. And then you know what you did? You stopped being a physical hoarder and became a digital one. All you did was take that digital library and put it on terabyte hard drives. We all did it because we just were excited. And the reality is this: most of us didn't watch the majority of that shit, or at least a decent chunk. You downloaded more than what you actually consumed. But you did it because you thought it was like this limited time thing and it was going to go away. It's like we're already kind of going into a streaming era anyway. That's the reason why people were going for digital libraries in the first place. And then even those who were going for their torrented or illegally downloaded digital libraries, you know what else you probably did? You probably gave a lot of that up and just started watching shows on sites themselves. Like, there were still illegal sites, but you just didn't bother downloading anymore. And the reason why you probably didn't download is because, man, that's a lot of shit to just have on your computer for no goddamn reason. And so that's what you did. You checked all the way out. And that's perfectly fine. But it's kind of getting to my point that we've moved further and further away from like grabbing this shit. Now it's just more of a I'm just gonna watch it and then move the fuck on. And for me, it just doesn't make sense to give these companies double the money. You know, everyone's talking about how everything's so fucking expensive and we can't afford anything, right? Why are you giving these companies? Because most of the people going to go see Spider-Man, you probably have a Disney Plus subscription. But it's that whole I'm going with friends, right? You're going with a loved one. You're going with the family. You're going so you can be up to date on the newest stuff because you just can't wait to see the newest Marvel film, right? And although I completely understand it and that's completely your prerogative, for me, I just don't think it's that deep anymore. I think sometimes you need to inconvenience yourself a little bit to keep yourself balanced. And then on top of that, I need to save some fucking money. It don't make any fucking sense. I'm giving you $30 a month for a service only to then give you another $30 to go watch the movie that will be on that service anyway. And all for this. And it's really what I'm doing is at that point, I'm just paying for early access. And for me, I just don't think that shit's worth it. Now, I'm not saying it's not worth it in general. I'm saying for me, it's not. I don't have a girlfriend, so I have no social reason to go out. The only reason I will go out anymore for a film to the theaters is genuinely if that piece of media, it would be either very rare occasions, like I don't own the streaming service that media would more likely appear on, or I'm going out in a social event. So either I would have to be going out with somebody or I don't own the streaming service that movie will eventually appear on. Those are like my two stipulations. But for the most case, I'm not worrying about it. And considering I have access to Disney Plus, that means everything Disney and fucking Marvel related and Star Wars or whatever, that's all off the table. It's not that deep for me anymore. It never really was for me specifically, which is why I said like it's a me kind of thing. But at the same time, I just don't see the purpose of giving these companies double the money just to see some shit in early access when I can just wait. It's not going to kill me to wait. And if I can't wait, shit, Twitter exists. X gonna give it to you. It's gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you. It's gonna give it to you. Let me stop. But please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below and tell me how you feel about the movie future and whether or not you think it's worth it to still go to theaters. And if so, what are your reasons for going? And if not, what are your reasons for not going? Are they different from mine? Let me know in the comment below. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, this has been your Manic Vlogs from your boy Terrell. And I will catch you all later. Peace out. Peace out.